People is pleased to present 40 Days 40 FinTechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, as it continues to lead the way in advocacy for the creation and dissemination of technology that enables financial inclusivity. The 40 Days 40 FinTechs is shining a spotlight on those that are breaking down digital barriers and bringing millions more on the continent into the transactional space and transforming their lives for the better.
SaveApp is a company duly incorporated in the Republic of Kenya. And essentially, we are a fintech company that basically aims at coming up with local solutions to local technical problems, especially within the fintech space. Our core fintech product is known as Ukonga. Ukonga is a Zulu word which essentially means or stands for savings. So essentially, Ukonga is a micro savings platform that essentially enables our users to be able to save their spare change for their future use. Essentially, we are not that very old, let me put that out there, but we've had a very interesting run so far and a very interesting impact, to say the least. We so far have over north of 1,800 users as of yesterday evening. And out of these 1,800 users, our assets under management is north of course, $1,000 US, considering that we have essentially, been growing organically just by word of mouth. And I think this is essentially our 8th month of operation. And mind you, we are a micro savings platform. So you clearly see that we've had a very huge impact. If you basically kind of trim it down, our month-on-month growth has just been around average of 30% every month. When we started SaveApp, we knew, of course, we have to be a profitable company. But I believe, and I think that one of the things that critically asked myself and what my colleagues also asked me is, apart from the money, what more are we going to be doing, And if you look at the current scenario, especially in this part of the world, whereby we have, a ballooning youth population, and unfortunately, we also have a ballooning, for lack of a better word, kind of an informal economy. We have more and more people for our generation and younger being employed in the informal sector than the formal sector. Okay, and a lot of these people in the informal sector do not have any means, for lack of a better word, to infrastructure, a formal infrastructure of saving. Okay, so our impact was from day one very clear that we have to provide the answer to this underserved community, especially the youth, the women who might not be in formal economies, whereby they have, this formal sense of savings infrastructure. Okay, so we believe we've had a very huge impact, and we will continue having a huge impact to these underserved communities who, if you look at the data emanating, in this part of the world, at least over 900 million Africans, the biggest portion being youth and women, do not have access to this savings infrastructure that Ukonga is actually trying to provide. When a user is basically registered with us, they have to give us their KYC because we're essentially handling their financial assets. Of course, we work with our partners who are highly regulated by the regulatory bodies like the Central Bank of Kenya. So we work with UBA, and essentially they've basically guided us to provide some set of KYC that is essentially needed, not only for their own security, but also for the security of their financial assets. Okay. In terms of, working with people in terms of the bottom of the pyramid, of course, through our app and through our USSD, we actually are able to include this underserved, margin of the society, to work with us through their mobile devices. From my own personal observation and opinion, the state of the Kenyan FinTech industry is quite interesting. Interesting in the sense that we are growing. I think we are at a higher level in terms of growth. I can even dare say maturity as compared to other African jurisdictions. But I believe there's always room for growth. And I really at this point, essentially want to actually thank our government, because our government has actually been at the forefront, to kind of provide a very, very good ecosystem environment for us innovators, especially in the fintech space, to be able to springboard our ideas and of course work with them closely and get guidance where need be. The opportunities essentially will always keep on arising because I think the fact that we are a growing country, we are a growing populace, there'll still be aspects of problems. I don't look at them as problems, I look at them as challenges, and as long as they're challenges, you're actually able to provide a solution. And I think that's actually a win-win for everybody. It is important, that we actually able to showcase the little that we have. It is important that, organizations such as, the 40 Days, 40 Fintechs, is actually able to advocate and showcase, what this part of the world has. And I think that impact should not be taken for granted, because through awareness creation, of course supported by 40 Days, 40 Fintechs, through the advocacy of actually saying, guys, we actually have people like Ukonga doing this and that, it actually provides that platform within the ecosystem of one, knowledge sharing. Two, provides an opportunity whereby support can be granted by one player or another. And I think that is really immense. We first of all, before you need to ask for more to be done by 40 Days, 40 Fintechs, is to actually say thank you, for the much and the little that you're doing. Because very few people actually dare do what you're doing. So we need to say thank you, and then hopefully and possibly ask if this can actually be spread further, so that if today you're impacting, 1,000 companies, then you have the opportunity of impacting 2,000 companies next year, and that continues growing. We are currently located and operational in Kenya, but we hope to be fully operational at least in the better part of the East African region, Uganda, Tanzania included, hopefully before the end of the year. And currently, for those who are within the Republic of Kenya, you can actually be able to get Ukonga, the product, on the iOS or on the Play Store. You just need to look for Ukonga app, and basically should be able to download it. For those who basically not within this jurisdiction and you want to learn more about us, you can actually check us out on our website, SaveApp.co.ke or Ukonga.co.ke.
40 Days 40 Fintechs is presented in proud partnership with Crossleg Technologies, Modus Box, Mojaloop Foundation, and Level 1 Projects.